In the Museum of Torture Instruments in San Marino in Europe, the torture devices which were used during the Dark Ages are displayed. Iron Maiden. It is one of the representative torture devices from the medieval period. It is an iron cabinet with a spike-covered interior, with iron spikes about 8 inches long. When a person is enclosed inside, the whole body is pierced with the pointed iron spikes and is fatally injured, and the person dies slowly from excessive bleeding. The torture device in the shape of a wheel was invented for execution. They tied a person around the wheel, then rolled it repeatedly over fire or spikes. They also bound the 4 limbs of a person on a wheel and crushed the bones using an iron bar or hammer. Then the person was thoroughly injured and died in pain, still bound to the wheel. The Inquisition invented cruel torture devices to give victims as much pain as possible. A torture device with sharp iron hooks to tear off a living person's skin. A pyramid-shaped torture device with a sharp tip. A person was put on top and suffered severe pain as a sharp point was inserted into the body, little by little, due to the body weight. Most of the time, tortures were carried out by Catholic monks or priests. They pulled out nails using pliers, burned parts of the bodies with fire, and crushed fingers and toes with torture devices. A pulley was used to lift a victim's body up, and then drop them to make all the joints go out of place. A person was burned alive while their hands and feet were tied. A chair with spikes was used to tie a person down, and it made blood come out from every part of their body. If a victim denied the Catholic Church's teachings, despite the hard torture, they poured boiling lead in the mouth or ears, or gouged out their eyes, or flogged them until parts of their skin flew off. Sawing, slaying by sword and burning the victims alive. The Catholic priests enforced them to follow their teachings, holding the cross in front of them. The persecution for anti-Catholics continued as a large-scale massacre. In 1209, 6,000 were slain to death at Berthiers. And 1211, 100,000 Christians were massacred at Lavore. Though the massacre at Merindol, 500 women were locked in a room and burned to death. In the massacre of Orange in 1562, the Italian army sent by Pope Pius IV was commanded to slay men, women, and children. In 1572, approximately 100,000 people were massacred in Paris, France.
He will speak against the Most High and oppress his saints. The saints will be handed over to him for a time, times, and half a time.
as it was prophesied that the one who speaks against the Most High would make war against the saints and conquer them. Over 50 million people were slaughtered during the Dark Ages.
Kampioen die Idole, Azkat Khalid.